Apollo's receiving.
Got Castle High School and
Whitney's crib.
Close to start time of football game, and I'm getting the last of my offensive starters in the book here. But Coach, it's probably a little easier, I would think, to play
18th, and here's what we're working on for the top of the hour.
Like this. I think Castle got a little bit of an advantage.
Well, it is their home field. They are the big school. They're the 5A school. And it's of the 6 teams, it's the only stadium that could host something like this. So that's the way it ought to be set up. And they started with the Warren County small team, and next one in Castle. But there is an advantage to playing tonight. There's still going to be some cramps, but I don't think you'll see as many as you saw in the Boonville game.
Boy, did we! And it happened. I've never seen it happen like that. I've seen cramps.
Right.
And I've gone through having cramps in other sports. Playing tennis in high school, I had my share of leg cramps, but I've never seen it happen in bunches like that. You have like 3 guys in one play would have. It just started just like that.
Yeah, and like you said, before long, it was the entire backfield that was out at one time or another with a cramp, and it was unbelievable.
And it's for Boonville, they didn't draw maybe the hottest part of the day, but they've certainly been practicing in that heat anyway. So what it kind of tells you is once you get to game time, you just have to kind of go with it. You just have to know that you're going to suffer those cramps.
Right, and I don't think it doesn't matter how well you condition. It just seems like every team, they have them. I'm sure Heritage Hills had some on the other side that we didn't see because we're on the other side of the field from them, but I'm sure they didn't have, when you're winning, there's a little bit of an emotional thing also, but I'll tell you what, Castle's huge. They just skied over those Apollo kids at the flip of the coin.
I wouldn't worry if I was Apollo about how big they were. Although, I would. I probably would. I'd be very, very worried. But the problem is that Castle's not just big. This team is incredibly fast. I don't know that John Lighty will say they're the fastest team he's ever had, but he did say they were faster than either of his state championship teams. They're probably not as big as the '94 team, but they're still bigger than just about everybody else, and they really do have some good speed. And they don't have all of it on the field yet. They're missing a couple of kids, but when you're that big and that fast, there's not a lot of disadvantages to playing football when you're big and fast.
I'm telling you, that if they're big and fast, and they got the tradition, and they got the numbers,
they have 70. I think.
Look out.
And they're missing the transfer, and I forgot his first name. His last name is Everhard from Bossy. He is out with I believe it was a leg injury for 3 games, and he's not yet been cleared by the IHSAA to play at Castle High School. He transferred from Bossy last year, just a junior this year. So one way or another, they're hoping that he'll be able to play for them next year. And talking a little bit with some of the Castle coaches, they really like the kid, and I don't think he's on their roster yet, actually, because I don't think he's been okayed to be on the roster. So it's too bad that he's not able to play the first couple of games, but he's not going to be able to play them anyway because of the injury. So the Castle coaches really like him. They're glad to have him, and it's just something that we talked about off the recording there, that they really would like to see him be able to play for Castle. They think it wasn't like they went out and asked him to come here. He just and there were some whispers about that. Obviously, some people have had that, and I think that's just kind of silly. Castle, with the number of kids they play, there's no assurance you're going to come here and play no matter how good you are at this point.
Castle has no need to recruit.
No, there's no need for this for a school this like Castle with a football tradition and the kids they had coming back. They're not even worried about it. Castle will kick it off. Marshall Shipp, who we ought to be familiar with by now, will put it in the air, and Marshall is not going to kick it very far. We also know that. High pooch kick coming down near side. Apollo will take it at the 28-yard line and get to about the 32. Boy, Castle closed awfully quickly on that one. There wasn't a whole lot of room there. The special teams for the Knights on top of the ball carrier in a hurry. And here we go. Offensive starters for the Apollo Eagles. The tailback, Jock Williams. And that's one of the guys that we'll be looking at tonight. He is a senior, 5'11", 170. The quarterback is is Brandon Adams, 6'2", 203, and a senior. As the handoff into the line, and nothing. May have been the fullback, Wedding. It was. Matt Wedding is the fullback. He had the carry there. Wedding is a 5'11", 190-pound senior. And Apollo will face a 2nd down and 9 to give him a gain of 1 on the play. Matt Tucker, one of the receivers. And Tucker in this play is lined up in the slot. William Carter and Brandon English will also see some time at receiver and tight end. The pitch going to Williams. Williams is hit and dropped after a short gain. He had no room to run. Castle was all over it. And Aaron Key, who will be playing both ways, middle linebacker. This is a kid with some speed and hits awfully hard. McCastle's had some odd combinations of the year. You don't see a lot of tailback middle linebackers. It's kind of a different thing. Of course, they also had a kid here named Vince Slidey, the coach's son, who played quarterback.
He could play any way he wanted, or any place he wanted.
He was a hard hitter. Here comes Adams wanting to throw. He's in trouble. Will get away for a moment. Try and step up and run, and across the 40, that's a first down. Will be very close, at least, to a first down. Boy, where they're marking him out of bounds, it's questionable. In fact, I don't think they're going to give him the first down.
They're marking it right on the 40.
Mark it right on the 40. Call it 4th and a foot. The officials are going to call timeout. They may look at this, but from where it's spotted, they're going to bring the chains across the field. Not from that spot. They may have it.
I can see now that Apollo has a very quick quarterback.
Yeah,
I think they run the option. I saw that. That's going to be very tough to deal with.
And
4th.
Short by about 8 inches. 4th down. That isn't a good decision to have right at the start here the Apollo Eagles. And I don't think you want to chance it, but that's just me.
They're going to.
I think they are. This is a dangerous decision early in the game. Yes, it's 4th and 6 or 8 inches, but if you don't get it, Castle's got it on your 40.
I do not see them powering the ball against Castle, so they probably run something off tackle.
Williams dots the I, the tailback. Carter and Tucker are split out to the near side. Boy, the Castle fans have just filled this place. And Brandon Adams will bow under center. Will try and throw. Flags fly at the snap, and he will have the first down, running it out to about the 45-yard line. A flag flew right at the start. And when they fly right at the snap of the ball, it's not normally good for the offense, nor is this one. That is a 5-yard penalty, illegal motion. And
they will punt now.
Now they've got to punt, you would assume. By Apollo showing, though, that Brandon Adams, once he gets outside, is a threat. And Adams is a 6'2 senior, goes 203 pounds. Will place him on the defense and is a quarterback and obviously has an awful lot of speed. All right, I'm confused on the spotting of the ball. They penalized him 8 yards. Oh, it was a holding. I thought, well, apparently there was a hold also. And now the punt. I believe that's Chris Shane deep to punt. And the ball blocked! Blocked! Castle's got it at the 10. I'm not sure who blocked it, but coming up with the ball was Jeremy Smith. Smith, a junior. I think it was Key that blocked it. Key blocked it, Smith came up with it, and that is not a good start for the Apollo Eagles.
No, it's not.
9:55 on the clock. And Castle will come out in the straight I, and timeout called already. Oh, somebody left a bag of footballs in the end zone. Oops. Forgot to clean up after pregame practice, apparently.
Castle.
Yeah. Oops.
It's a way to get a little break for your kids. Yeah, that's not bad.
A little decoy. Eye in the backfield for Castle. Diedrich Finn one way. Split wide near side. And the handoff goes to Key. Aaron Key running right up the middle, inside the 5 to about the 4. Haven't given you Castle's offensive starters yet. They look like this. Diedrich Finn is one wide receiver. The other...
What kind of uniform they belongs? Orange that says Pima County Jail.
Fullback, Brandon Roop, the quarterback. Patrick Milliken, Joe Dunn.
Two ways. Brush with Arm & Hammer Advanced White toothpaste or chew new Advanced White gum. Only Advanced White has an advanced coating. The lightning power of our baking soda. Place gets teeth 2 shades easier. The gum does too. For more white power, use both. Advanced White paste and gum. 2 ways to advance.
Excuse me, was...
Teeth.
And the fullback in there right now is Fox, and the goal line set. It is Chris Fox. So 3rd and goal now for Castle, and here comes Casey Elkins into the ball game as dashing off the field was Blake Neaton. No score, 8:51 on the clock, first period. Castle facing a 3rd and goal.
Forty-two wasn't letting any little guy going in the game here. Who was that?
Burke on
6% carbs and electrolytes. Is it in you?
On the season, that 70 show is going where it's never been.
play action pass. Burke
Make me paranoid.
to Finn.
Step away from that stereo.
But hi, I got the new Neil Sayer album.
That 70 show. Then forget about home. There's no place like a co-ed.
And with 8:20.
We can't do this.
I'll go fast. Just give it. No, wait. Go ahead.
Undeclared. The series premiere after the 70 show Tuesday, September 18th on Fox.
There's the kid, by the way. It's the blew out playing his sophomore year. Didn't play junior year. And of course, if you haven't heard of Diedrich Finn and you're a sports fan around here, I don't know what's wrong with you, but Diedrich can play a little bit of hoops, and he can play football as well, and he's back out here this year with a healthy knee. Here's Ship to chip the field goal up and through. He did exactly that. He just kind of chips it up there. That's the way Ship drive into it. He just kind of chips it up, and it gets the job done. 7-0 Castle, 8:29 to play in the first. Back in 30 seconds on WBNL.
How did Apollo do last year in Kentucky?
The 4-yard touchdown pass from Brandon Roop to Diedrich Finn with the Ship kick coming at 8:29 to go in the first period. And it's 7-0 Knights. The Apollo Eagles will get it back. Ship will kick off for a second time. The blocked punch setting all that up. Aaron Key blocking the punt at 9:55 to go in the period. And here we go. The Castle kickoff team. Ship will pooch it up. Oh, short kick this time, and the Knights run it down from behind. Goodness, that was Neaton that ran that one down from behind. There's some speed shown on that one as he just absolutely ran Troy Best down from the backside. Troy didn't see that coming.
I'll tell you what, they have a wall set up on the other side over there.
Yeah.
They really do, and that's twice they've had a wall set up. And if they get outside, they could have a touchdown here.
So Apollo back on offense. Adams the quarterback. Wedding in the backfield. Now Williams is in motion. Williams will get the carry, and wow, he'll lose 2. He never got going forward. He was going to his right and was hit before he could turn upfield. And that's the way you got to stop a really speedy back. If you let him get his shoulders turned forward, you're in a little bit of trouble. Castle didn't do that. And it's second down. The one if I was Castle at this point, the back that I'd be most concerned with is Brandon Adams,
the quarterback,
because he's been able to escape the containment a couple of times. Two wide, twins to the right side, eye in the backfield. The tailback gets the pitch and just gets turned around. Williams, he couldn't get started again. Well, you mentioned the size, and right now the Castle defensive line is just taking the offensive players for Apollo and pushing them a good yard, maybe two deep into the backfield, and it's just giving Williams, the tailback, no room to work with at all. Third down and about 15. Shotgun this time as Adams will go out of the gun, Wedding in the backfield with him. Jock Williams in the slot. He wants to throw. He's going to try and break out of there on the run. Castle will bring it down. Fumble. The ball is loose. The Knights pick it up. This is going to... Oh, they're going to blow it dead. Oh, they're going to blow it dead. Oh, my goodness, that was a touchdown. If they didn't blow that one dead, if they called that a fumble, Castle had that for a touchdown return, and this place was going to go crazy. That ball popped up on the bounce right into the hands of Ryan Daywalt, who was gone. Ryan was about to celebrate his first varsity touchdown. There's a kid who missed last year with a blown-out knee as well. The punt. Apollo got this one away. Short kick. Elkins will not touch it. Ball will bounce dead about the Castle 46-yard line. And the Castle offense will come back on the field. 6 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the first period. 7-0 Castle. And it could easily be 14-0 right now if the officials hadn't blown the whistle just a moment ago.
I still think, like you said, that Adams kid he's a threat now.
Yeah, and even though he didn't get a first down on that play, he sure did make it exciting for a moment there. The handoff in the backfield, and that's not going to be much for a new Knight back in the ball game. That is Brian Hennard. There are a number of Knights that can see time at tailback this year. I'm not sure you're going to see a featured back right away for this Castle team. Partially because a lot of these kids also play defense, partially because they've got a lot of kids that can play tailback. Fox is the fullback. Hennard is back there again at the tailback. Slot to the left side. Hand off to the fullback. Fox, he's up the middle. He's near a first down. He'll be a couple of yards shy. He's across midfield to about the 46-yard line of Apollo. Fox surprisingly quick on that play. Chris 5'11", 190. Kind of a compact 190.
Yeah.
Somehow the 190-pounders on Tecumseh didn't look that big. I'm not quite sure if it's the pads or what.
Maybe that Castle's keeping their weight down and Tecumseh's adding a little bit to it. You never know.
The tackles will move around for Castle. They switched them off. And Roop will hand off in the backfield to Hennard, who is going to fight for it. Did he get there? I think he's going to be short. He got a couple of yards. He needed 3. And with the spot, they're a full yard short. Well, the Castle fans are going to boo the spot. I don't think it was a particularly bad spot, though. And is this the punt team coming on for Castle? It may be.
Right, but this is a good spot to fake. It's also a good spot to go ahead and, push kick it a little bit and get it out of bounds inside the 20.
Yeah, we saw a fake. Well, that's not even the... They've got people missing from this team, and they're going to have to call a timeout. Castle didn't have everybody on. The Knights missing some players. That's one of those things that happens early in the season, and all those things you really hate when you're a head coach. Those are the ones that, John doesn't have a whole lot of hair left, but what's there may go gray. When that sort of thing happens. 4:55 to play in the first period. Castle on top of Apollo 7-0. Back in 30 seconds on WBNL. Back out here at Castle High School. Castle will Well, they will punt, I believe. The Knights in punt formation. That is Corey Bradley deep in punt formation, and Bradley is going to kick it. High end over end, kind of a wobbling kick. Will bounce. Oh, that's not a good punt at all. It'll bounce at the 33-yard line. That barely picked up anything. That was, I don't even know if that was a 10-yard. Yeah, it was a 10-yard punt.
Did not take a good bounce for Castle.
That was a one of those that the ends are spinning kind of sideways, not really completely going end over end.
Right.
It's kind of a funny spin.
Well, he was just trying to push kick it, and push it out of bounds inside the 20, but it took a backward spin on him.
So Apollo back to the line, trailing this game 7-0. Brandon Adams, the quarterback for the white-shirted Eagles. Eye in the backfield. Jacques Williams dots the eye. Fake the give to him. Want to throw. Adams still looking to throw. Now he'll throw it deep. Got a man wide open at the 30-yard line, and there is Matt Tucker inside the 30 to the 25. And Apollo gets somebody deep, and that's the one thing Castle is worried about. They do have plenty of speed in the secondary, but they worry about those breakdowns. They had a couple of struggles on the deep balls against Bosse in the scrimmage. They have a struggle on the deep ball there. Shotgun this time for Brandon Adams, the Apollo quarterback. And fake the give to Wedding, and he'll try and sprint it out near side. Got away from one tackle, still on his feet inside the 15, lost the football, it's free! Still free at the goal line! Who got it? Apollo got it, it's a touchdown! That is the most bizarre football play I think we've seen all day. And this ball game is a point away from being tied.
Well, what that was,
wow,
turned out to be a little bit of an option play, and he pitched it, but the kid kind of kicked it all the way in the end zone.
Wow. Well, the runner on the play was Adams, a quarterback.
Well, the kid to finish it up is the one who gets credit for the yardage.
And who did fall on it?
Number 1.
Okay, so Williams fell on it, and the PAT up and good. And this ball game, with 4:10 rather to play in the first period, is tied at 7. We'll take a 30-second timeout, and we will be right back.
Think it hurts your ears, you'll hear ours.
Back out here at Castle High School, 7-7. First ball game we've had today where we've had both teams score in the first period.
That was kind of a neat play. It's one of those things, if Boonville could have had it happen for them, maybe the game had been a little different than what it was.
Sometimes you just have to have the ball bounce your way. And remember that Castle could have had this ball game 14-0
right,
just a little while ago. So Apollo's had a couple of breaks in this football game, and now they have to take advantage of those. Well, that's just a fluky play. I mean, there's no other way to describe that. You have the ball bouncing free in the end zone, and Castle had 2 guys miss it, and your guy falls on it. I mean, that's just a fluky play.
And I didn't think he fell on it, but apparently he did. Tell you what, the thing that's going to hurt Apollo is their size.
And
they got a lot of kids going both ways.
Apollo was offsides.
And, with a lot of kids going both ways, they probably third or fourth quarter, Castle's strength and size will wear them down.
Well, we've seen already that Brandon Adams can outrun just about anybody on the football field, at least getting out of the backfield. It's been difficult for the Castle Knights secondary to keep up with him. He is going to be a real weapon.
He can throw as well as run, so it makes it very difficult. Because what do you do? I mean, you bring 9 people up, then he'll throw over you.
Well, Apollo here is going to be moved back 5 yards. The kickoff will come from the 35. This gives Castle a chance at some decent field position here. Kicking it away for Apollo will be Chris Brown, the sophomore. Hey, 3 different guys do the kicking for this team. 1 punter, 1 place kicker, and 1 kickoff man. Back at about the 15, it's Elkins. Huge hole up the middle for Casey, and he's out to the 41 where he's brought down. You know, after all the guys we've seen go left and right in every way but forward on kickoffs today, Elkins took that one pretty much north and south, and he might have been better served to try and put on a little move there, but hey, he just took it straight up the football field, and he's out to about the 41-yard line.
Right. He has pretty good speed also.
He's another one of those basketball players for this team that, you know, is a two-sport athlete. And football players and basketball players, those are kind of tough sports to double in because of the weight differential that you normally find. But Castle does it pretty well. They've got 3 of their guys that may start for them this year out here playing football. Oh, look out! Here's Kennard. He nearly broke that one. He'll get about 6 yards near side. And Apollo, the danger for Apollo is 10 guys were within 5 yards of the football there at the end. If he breaks through that pile, he's gone. Apollo isn't playing a whole lot of players deep. We'll see if that Castle backfield can get behind the Apollo defensive backfield. Brandon Adams is playing safety. Hello? Okay, are you on the air? Okay.
Fox gets a first down, looks like. Hit a gain of about 5 yards. It's Castle's first down of the game. Right now they have first and 10 on the 48.
All right, Castle picking up the first down as we get the information. More severe thunderstorm warnings throughout the area, some now in Illinois, and we're hoping that doesn't move in here for a little while longer. Looking for Diedrich Finn, long, tipped away and incomplete. Finn had to go up and actually kind of knock that one away from the defensive back on the play, William Carter. Well, that's a couple of guys that are pretty quick down the football field right there. That was a play where Roop is better served throwing that ball out there another 4 or 5 yards and seeing if Finn can run under it.
I'll tell you what, the 27, I'm not really sure what his name is.
Carter, William Carter.
William Carter. That was a nice athletic move there. He jumped and had the ball, and then Finn pulled him away from the ball.
So 2nd down and 10. Now, there aren't going to be a whole lot of teams that are going to be able to stay with Castle, I don't think, with their secondary, but this Apollo team, at least for right now, showing they can do it. Eye in the backfield, and the handoff goes to the tailback and tripped up his Key. He went nowhere. Key, no gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 10. So Castle now facing a 3rd and long at midfield in a tie football game. Apollo staying right in this thing. 2 minutes, 24 seconds to play first quarter. The eye in the backfield. Diedrich Finn is your slot man to the left side of the formation with Casey Elkins split wide to the same side. Roop wants to throw, has to step away from pressure, will try and run and pick up only a yard. It'll be 4th down. That was a blitz, and Roop never had time to set up. If he had time to set up and just fire it down the far sideline, Finn had everybody deep, but there was everybody beat, I should say, but there was no way that Roop ever had time to even put the ball up. So Castle will have to punt again, and this one, the Knights hope, will be better than the last. Corey Bradley, the senior. The kick is away. This is a much better kick. High floating kick about the 20-yard line. Oh, field the punt and run it out to about the 27-yard line. That was a rather daring play by
Carter. Same kid that made
William Carter. Yeah, it was.
That was a little bit of a daredevil play.
That was a Clay Kelly play. from last year.
Where's Clay Kelly?
Well, Clay's not playing this year.
Oh, I got to find a new hero.
Yeah, we kind of enjoyed watching Clay play last year.
I all of a sudden that just kind of hit me.
Jogged your memory, didn't it?
Yes.
Well, the breeze is getting a little cooler here at Castle as the quarterback Adams wants to throw again. In trouble. Oh, look out. He'll go down in the backfield, and I believe, was that Neaton that got him? Yeah, it was
right.
Blake Neaton. There's a kid he's surprisingly quick, I would say, Blake Neaton. He's big enough to put a hurt on you, and he's quick enough to catch up to you. We've seen that a couple of times. He made a nice special teams tackle earlier. He's only 5'10", does go 200 pounds, but is as quick as any 200-pounder Castle's going to be able to put out there. Under center is Adams. The quick pitch to Williams, tries to cut it back inside, and there's just no room right now. He got a couple of yards out of it, but there was never a hole there. But Williams has not had any room to run so far in this ball game. The only person who has is the quarterback, Brandon Adams. Now, Williams does have the touchdown, but that was a fluke.
Yeah, he has 37 yards, but that was on a pitch and a kick and a fumble recovery.
Trips. Maybe not. What is this? They're not sure what's going on down. Well, they got plenty of time on the play clock, though. Apollo looks completely baffled as to what play they're running. Now they've got it set up. Trips to the left. Now they'll send one out to the right side, down to 2 on the play clock, down to 1. And, it's down to the end of the first quarter. They had one fewer second on the game clock than they did on the play clock and decided to simply run out the first quarter play. 7-7 your score after 12 minutes. Back for the second quarter after this 1-minute timeout. Hang on a minute. Back out here at Castle High School where the Apollo Eagles will have the ball. 3rd down and about 13 as the quarterback, Brandon Adams, prepares to take the snap. Castle bringing a couple extra men. Adams hit as he throws, going deep, got a man, and it's caught at the 40-yard line. What a catch by Matt Tucker. Full extension by Tucker, and he brought it in with his fingertips. And good coverage from Diedrich Finn over there. It was just simply a case where Tucker was able to lay out and haul it in. There's a highlight reel play. I tell you what, wow. Apollo.
And if he didn't catch it, it should have been interference also.
Yeah, Diedrich put a hand on him. And another timeout. Well, Apollo just had to take a timeout here. I'm not sure what happened. They had 13 seconds left on the play clock. I'm kind of surprised they had to burn the TO.
I think somebody was out of position down there, because it looked like the quarterback was yelling at one of his players.
Well, the Eagles take the timeout, and we'll go ahead and keep it here this time. The scores from yesterday, let's go through some of those if I can find them. The scores from earlier today, first of all, in the first ball game, it was Gibson Southern beating Tecumseh by a score of 41-14. In the second ball game, it was 43-0 as Heritage Hills walked all over Boonville in a ball game that was really closer than that for most of the first half at least, but it didn't turn out that way. I can't find my list of scores from yesterday, or I'd tell you more. I'll find them later. Anyway, I think I've got them in the book somewhere. We'll find them and we'll give them to you a little bit later on. But what I do know is that this ball game is tied at 7-7 here in the second quarter.
There's movement.
Here's a play-action pass. Some trouble in the backfield. This will be a sack. No flag, though. I thought there was movement on the snap, but I don't see any yellow hankies on the field, so I guess they're going to let it go. And that'll bring up now 2nd down and 15. The ball on the 43-yard line of the Castle Knights. 2nd and long for Apollo. 11 minutes to play, first half. Well, Apollo has played well in this football game. They'd love to get another score. That was early. If the last one wasn't early, that one was.
It almost looked like the center started to hike it and held up a little bit.
I didn't know the official had a microphone on. Did he have one on before now?
I don't think so. Just in the Castle game.
I wonder how that works.
Another home court advantage, huh?
I don't know if that's much of an advantage, but you bring out everything. And they brought out the statisticians for this game too. Yeah, there's Willings are in the press box to give us all our stats for the game.
And she is good. She brings those stats over here lightning fast.
I know.
And I just see how good I am if I'm close.
Yeah, you know. Those computerized stats are hard to match now. Castle a little bit out of position on the snap. Pass to Williams. He's got it on the far side and will be brought down about the original line of scrimmage, about the 39-yard line. With 2nd down and 18, he picked up about 8. Daywalt bringing down the tailback on the play. So Williams didn't quite get back to the original line. It'll be 3rd down and more like 11. Williams is going to line up as a slot man this time to the right side. 3 wide this time. And a shotgun snap to Adams. Firing across the middle. Oh, what a hit as Tucker is knocked away from the football. Was that Key? That was Aaron Key coming flying in there at the last moment and making sure that wouldn't be a pass completion.
I tell you what, it would have been a 1st down if he did knock it out.
Boy, give Adams credit. That was a bullet.
Looked good.
It was a tight spiral and everything right on the money, and I believe Adams and crew will go for it here on 4th and a long 10.
This probably will be a fake.
They won't go for it. Well, you've got Carter lined up wide to the side here. Bad snap, bounces in there, but the kick away anyhow. It'll bounce down. Oh, and it'll take a backwards bounce all the way back to the 28-yard line. It hit at the 21. So a return of 7 yards, and Castle didn't even have to touch it. That's nice. So Knights will take over 1st and 10. 9:32 still to play in the first half. So Castle still a chance to take the lead into the locker room. They led this game 7-0. Saw Apollo tie it on kind of a fluky play.
There's movement.
And movement on the play. This one won't count.
And Apollo's lucky because they weren't set. Castle come up the line of scrimmage pretty quick.
And that might have been part of the reason they weren't quite set at the line.
Yeah, they were, well, and, they probably got a little hungry there and jumped before they should have.
Castle will move back 5 yards. They're now at their own 23. calling the Boonville players back to the locker room now. That's kind of interesting. They're probably ready to go on the bus. Here is the handoff up the middle. Not a whole lot. Maybe 2, maybe 3. Key with the carry, got 2. It'll be 2nd down and 13. Castle will make a substitution. They have Josh Flynn coming in to play a little tight end wide receiver position. Williams for Apollo, still going both ways. Jock is lined up here man-on-man with Flynn.
Oh, my gosh.
Here's Diedrich Finn open, running over a man out to about the 35, 36-yard line. I think he knocked down somebody on the play. May have been Brown out here. That's Chris Brown. I think Diedrich put a little move on him and then just ran into him. So it's 3rd down and 3 now. Castle, another substitution. In comes Michael Young as they go to an extra wide receiver. Actually, Young will line up wide and Finn in the slot. Eye in the backfield, Finn in motion. Roop calling signals. Brandon will turn around and call timeout. He didn't like what he saw, and Roop didn't have time to audible, I suppose, with only 7 on the play clock, and decided instead on a key 3rd down and short to call timeout at his own 35-yard line. And we'll go ahead and take a quick break. Back in 30 seconds on AM 1540 WBNL Boonville, Indiana.
Notice they got Andy Burke out of the game right now and Jordan Baker in there at tight end.
Castle making a few substitutions, and the handoff goes to the fullback up the middle, and that didn't get it. Folks, that didn't even come, I don't believe that even got all that close. It'll be 4th down as Fox is a yard shy. And Castle is almost forced now with 7:56 and counting on the clock to punt it away, or at least I would think they're almost forced to punt it away. Here we go. Here comes the punter back onto the field. So, yes, Castle will kick. So a 7:38 now and still counting. Bradley is back in for Castle to kick it away. Waiting for the snap. And Bradley will put a foot into it. Good kick this time. Williams will... Brother Carter will field it at the 30. There's a clip. Oh my goodness. That was such a clip, it brought out yellow hankies from 2 guys.
Yeah.
And you could hear, I'm sure, the Castle fans in the background giving it the O.
There was also a lot of oohs because it was a pretty hard hit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, those aren't legal.
No.
Not in the back. You can hit them hard in the front side. Maybe you can get away with it in their side, but probably not square in the back. And that one was pretty much between the numbers. I'm not sure who laid it on there, but a Castle defender got knocked the wrong way.
And aren't you, Nick?
So 1st and 10 for Apollo, back inside their own 20 at about their own 15. 7-7 tie, 2nd quarter. The quarterback, Adams on the keeper. And about a 5, perhaps 6-yard gain. I'll spot him down right on the 20, so it's a 5-yard gain, 2nd down and 5. Adams kind of a shifty back.
He has breakaway speed. He has some pretty good moves, and he's 203 pounds, so he's got all the combinations.
And he's got a strong arm. We've already seen that, and he's fairly accurate. And we've seen the touch he's had on the ball as well, and the deep ball to Tucker, earlier in the game. Tucker is wide this time to the right side, Twins to the left. High snap on the shotgun. Oh, my!
Andy Burke just killed him.
Was that Burke?
Yes.
No. Yeah, it was. That was Andrew Burke, who just made a tackle for about a 10-yard loss. The handoff out of the shotgun, and Burke, wow, that was a big-time hit. A loss of about 4, maybe 5 on the play. Caught a loss of 4, 3rd down now and 9. That was a big-time hit.
I think he was supposed to be trapped, and instead he destroyed everybody in his path.
Boy, he could have tackled just about anybody he wanted to back there, and he found the right guy, got the guy with the ball, and just knocked him straight back.
Well, the guard probably chickened out trying to trap him too.
Fumble, the ball is loose.
Got it.
The ball is loose, and I think Castle may have fallen on it. They
Burke got it.
And Burke got it. Of course he did. So with 5:43 to go in the half, Burke recovers the fumble. At the 13-yard line of Apollo. And I believe Owensboro Apollo may be in a little bit of trouble here. Castle into the I formation. Slot to the left is Diedrich Finn. Roop, the quarterback under center, will hand it to Key. Key running right. Oh, and almost broke it. He did pick up 6 or 7 on the play. We'll see where they spot it officially. Let's give him about 6. Second down and 4. Castle making another substitution. Here comes Brian Johnson into the ball game. Johnson, a JV quarterback a year ago, converted into a wide receiver. He has one-on-one coverage with Jock Williams out here. As Roop will hand it to Key again. Key at the goal line. Didn't quite get in. Brandon Roop, the quarterback, signaling touchdown, but not quite. For the first and goal from about the 1. And Castle, the team known for smash mouth football, is going to line up in an I. They're going to give it to the tailback, and they're going to see if you can stop him.
Exactly. And in this game, the advantage goes to Castle.
Now, they can do a variety of things. They could give it to the fullback. I bet you Key gets it. No, it's Roop, the quarterback, and Roop is going to be in easily. That's the other option, of course. Roop sliding off the right side of the center. And that's Hunter Fields, and Fields is a returning letterman, and he knew what to do. Just knock his man backward and let Roop slide on into the end zone, and that's exactly what happened. 13-7 Castle, so much for the power I. Just give it to the quarterback and let him run it on in there for you. Of course, Roop is no small guy, 6'1", 195.
He just looks small against the Castle lineman.
Ship will try and add the PAT. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and he pulled that. He pulled it. He pulled it left. No good. 4:38 to play in the first half. The score will remain Castle 13 and Apollo 7.
Yards, they scored twice, and Apollo's had about 130-something yards, and they've scored once. It's been mistakes by Apollo that's led to the 2 Castle touchdowns.
And Apollo was quite fortunate, really, that they didn't have a third mistake in for a touchdown down here a little bit in the first quarter. That fumble that was ruled down that would have been returned by Ryan Daywalt for a touchdown. So
correct.
You can't make mistakes against a good football team.
No.
And Apollo's made a couple. Of course, Apollo also took advantage of a Castle mistake on that ball that Castle was unable to cover in the end zone.
Right.
Apollo wound up on it instead. Here comes Ship. He's going to try and kick this one deep. Wow. Oh, that's a one-hopper through the end zone.
Right.
It's also with a good wind behind him, but Ship just at that time decided, I suppose, that he could kick it through the end zone, and with the approval of the Castle Knight coaching staff, I'm sure he just pounded that one through the end zone.
Well, I mean, the first couple kicks, he kicked, about the 20 and about the 15.
But they were also going against the wind, and he was trying to pooch them. So, that's some smart kicking, some smart special teams play. Or as some football fans that I know would say, it's smart for a kicker.
Sure.
As The pass thrown to Carter, a little screen pass. Look out, he got free. Finn will bring him down. Boy, Diedrich Finn, a quick lateral move was all that saved right there William Carter going for a touchdown. Boy, that screen pass to Carter was effective that time. I don't think they're going to find Apollo that they can run out of the eye much against this Castle team. They just can't open up enough holes. They can, however, do some other things, and I think they're beginning to find them.
Tell you what, they are just one step away, it seems like, from a nice long touchdown.
Double slot formation. Here comes Adams, the quarterback, bouncing off a couple of tacklers, but not that one. I don't know if you saw what happened there at the end.
Burke kind of stuck everybody there.
Burke grabbed 3 people and held them all up.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. He grabbed 2 tacklers and the quarterback and pushed them all backward. That was the end of that play.
Yeah, I saw the pile up there, and I saw the big hand, and he just held them all.
And it'll be 2nd down and 9.
I would say run to your right.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't run against him either. Right now in a guard position on the defense. Here is the ball pitched out to Carter again. Carter down the sidelines, has some room. He has the first down again. From that spot, he should have it by a yard. Boy, some tough blocks by the Apollo receivers down that sideline over there. And again, a couple of them were close to being in the back. At that time, they were legal. And it's a first down for William Carter, who is becoming a weapon. So Apollo with a 1st and 10, just inside Castle territory. 3:25 to go in the first half. Reverse, coming near side to Carter, and this time he won't get away. Burke got him again.
And 42, whoever, Waterbury, yeah.
Yeah, Chris Waterbury. There are a couple of kids that are both football players. Waterbury, a fullback.
Did you say that was Carter that carried the ball that time?
It was on the end around. It was William Carter. Here comes Brandon Adams back in with the play from the sidelines. The play clock is all the way down to 12, but the team will come to the line quickly. Apollo with 7 seconds on the play clock as Adams will call out of the shotgun. Down to 3 now on the play clock, and the snap at 2. Adams looks one way, now looks off. Will try and dump it in the far side. Ball tipped and nearly picked off. Now that one was intended for Jock Williams. It was off his hands, and then Daywalt almost picked it off. And Ryan, hands on his head. He nearly had a fumble earlier, and there he nearly had a pick.
I'm impressed with this quarterback from Apollo.
He's done a nice job.
He is very accurate. The balls that have been missed or dropped or incomplete, however you want to call it, have been really close.
And he will go out of the gun here on 3rd and 9. 4 wide, 2 each way. Adams will throw in. Clatterbuck will put the foot to it. High kick. And will come down at about the 25. And again takes that bad Apollo bounce. It's a good Castle bounce. It's bad for Apollo. Bounce backwards 4 yards. All the way back out to the 29. And hit right on the yard stripe there at the 25-yard line. And kicked back immediately 4 yards.
It's had some funny bounces. That was a pretty good punt. Then it rolls back, 4 or 5 yards, like you said.
The last one bounced back 7.
I see a divot out there, Nathan.
Yeah, they'll have to replace that at halftime. And I guarantee you somebody replaces the divot at halftime. They've taken care of this field big time today. Now, one thing about this also is even if you don't replace it and you just tear it up, this grass grows so fast by next Friday you won't even know it's there. Of course, Castle doesn't have another home game for a couple of weeks. They're at Boonville next Friday. Tight eye in the backfield. Roop wants to throw. He's looking downfield. He has Finn open. Diedrich at midfield. That's a good throw and catch. That's just it
was great.
The quarterback lines up and lets it fly. He actually put it behind Finn a little bit, but it was the only place he could put it in. Diedrich made a nice catch off his hip, turned, and dove right on the 50. The ball astride the midfield stripe. With 2:07 to play in the first half. Again, the short eye, the tailback now, I believe, is Hennard. Roop wants to throw again. Roop again looking for Finn, and he nearly threw an interception. That was a bad pass. Knocked down in there by Aaron Teasley. As good as the last one was, that was a bad decision. It would have been a better try, I think, to go deep to Michael Young.
Tell you what, the linebacker that time, the kid that deflected the ball, dropped right back and just almost had an interception.
Right now, which is kind of interesting, especially considering the fact that Casey Elkins is the guy that, if you've watched much of Castle from the last couple of years, he'd be the guy that I'd worry about more. Finn in the slot, although Diedrich may be a little bit quicker. Elkins is a little bit taller.
This might be Elkins' time right now.
Roop instead will hand it up the middle. Here goes the tailback Hennard inside the 35 down near the 30. The give to the tailback, and Brian Hennard, just a sophomore, all the way just inside the 30. There's a track athlete. Apparently we have another problem with Brady and the weather. Hello? Okay. Okay, go ahead. Okay, all right.
Finn's open. It's going to be a touchdown. Oh! Diedrich Finn is very, very, very quick, and he was wide open down there going down the field. I think he was an All-American in basketball, AAU All-American this year. Him and Brian McCain from Boonville, I think those two. Second down and 10. 1 minute and 27 seconds left in the half. Just barely tripped up. Aaron Key.
All right, back out here at Castle High School. We hope we can get through this ball game before we get any rain here. Castle just missing a touchdown moments ago while we were away as Diedrich Finn was open down the middle of the field and Roop overthrew him by maybe a couple of yards. It was close. Key picking up now about 3 yards on second down. Now from the 27, Castle with under a minute to go in the half, facing a 3rd and 7. Here's Key again. Key running off the right side. It will be very close to the first down, and I think he'll have it. Castle wants a timeout. It will be a first down. The one advantage that Castle also has here is they have a decent place kicker, and the wind is at their back. Down to 46 seconds. Castle trying to hurry things up. Finn into the lineup. Also running onto the field is Josh Flynn. So Finn and Flynn over here wideouts this time. Flynn wide, Finn in the slot. 31 seconds left in the half. Roop will fake, wants to throw. Looking for Diedrich Finn. Intercepted! And this is going to be a touchdown the other way. Goodbye, Jock Williams. And there it is, touchdown.
No flags.
And no flags. That one will count. And Apollo has turned this one around in a hurry. Oh, my. 12.5 seconds on the clock as Jock Williams goes untouched, 85 yards.
Brandon Roop got hit just as he released, just enough to make him underthrow it. And of all the people to catch it,
yeah, he didn't.
Jock Williams.
Finn did everything he could to at least touch that ball, but he couldn't get up high enough. And the PAT, he missed it.
No good.
Okay. Pushed wide right, and it'll stay tied at 13-13 as Shane shanks it right. We'll go ahead and keep it here as we've got only 12.5 seconds left in the half. Folks, we'll give you some more weather updates at halftime with Brady Helms. We do have some severe weather in Pike County, and obviously that's getting a little bit closer to us And we're only getting close to halftime, so we could see some rain before this is over, or perhaps, I don't know, I don't want to go any more than that. We could see some rain before this is over with. So, 13-13 is the score. Apollo getting a defensive score. Well, both teams now have really taken advantage of a turnover for a score after that Burke fumble recovery. It was Roop going in on the keeper, and now the interception results in a touchdown the other way for Apollo. So it's 13-13, and it'll likely go to half that way. Oh, the ball just fell off the tee. Cell phones going off all over this press box. As the kick in the air.
Surprised they kicked it. I thought they would squib it.
Castle, Hennard trying to get away, couldn't. Down to 7 seconds. Did the ball come free? Why is the clock still going? There we go. Finally blown dead. It should have been stopped at about 7 seconds, but the officials didn't blow it dead.
No.
Now let's see. Castle has an awful lot of speed, and I know John Leidy has a couple of tricks up his sleeve.
Flea flicker.
Well, I know he has that one. I also know he has the hook and lateral.
Well, that's what hook and lateral is what I call flea flicker.
I call it a hook and lateral.
Yeah, you're right though. It's correct. That's the correct call for it.
They do have the flea flicker though, the actual flea flicker in there also, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him just kneel it down here. That's exactly what they'll do. I don't think the Knights have played particularly well in this game to this point. And at the half, it's Castle 13, Owensboro Apollo 13. Take 2 minutes. And also, I'll go ahead and go back to Brady. He'll give you an update of all the weather in the area. We'll come back in a couple of minutes and give you some of the scoring and the statistics from our first half of action here at Castle. In a third game.
Couple winning seasons. And then the confidence factor is there, and then you get on the roll. But it's almost like, they come in here, they play the schedule they play, and it's like, here we go again.
Right.
And, I think Coach Blankenship has done a great job. He's done some good things with the kids. They just need some breaks. And I know when I played for Wrights many years ago, things just seemed to go our way. The little fumbles went our way, the interceptions went our way, and that's the confidence and that's the luck thing.
Well, and of course, it was formed out of Castle back in 1959. It was formed out of Chandler and Newburgh, neither of which played football. I don't believe either of them played football that I know of, and really didn't have any kind of football tradition until the middle 70s. People talk about a long-time tradition at Castle. It's not the same kind of tradition you have at a school like Wrights or a school like some of those. Castle's tradition is really completely under John Leidy. And it's completely in the last 25 years.
Right.
I mean, they built the tradition, the hallowed tradition of Castle High School in 2.5 decades. So it's, you find a way to win, and I mean, sometimes it can happen quickly. All right, here's the kickoff. Hennard at the 20. Look out here. Hennard to the far side. Oh, they finally did catch him at the 20, or at the 42-yard line.
He's quick.
Very quick, and he caught the ball moving forward. And again, something we've talked about with these Castle kick returners, north and south. They are going up the field, and they aren't going sideways very much at all. Forget about the wall or the blockers or whatever. They're just going to try and tuck it up in whatever kind of hole they can find and go. They don't try and run it across the crown of this field, and maybe that's partly because they play here, and that's a big crown. Maybe not quite the same as Boonville, but
Boonville's got the crown of crowns.
The handoff goes up the middle to the fullback, and I think that was Waterbury. It was Chris Waterbury. There's an interesting young man, Chris Waterbury. And he likes to play football.
He's a pretty good wrestler, too, from what I understand.
Yes, he is, yeah.
I got a love for that sport.
He has the mentality of a wrestler, though. He really does. He's a hard worker. You've got to watch him before a wrestling match sometime and see how he paces all over the place. He's fun to watch. Up the middle, and is that Waterbury again? It
Yes.
was, and that's a first down. Sectional championships last year. Of course, he's a heavyweight. They start with the lightweights at 103. Waterbury paced the entire final round up and down the side of the Castle gym. He never sat down. I mean, that's over an hour.
Right.
Paced up and down the gym. And then he went out and won his match in less than 30 seconds. He's just that kind of kid. He's very strong, though. Here's Hennard, the tailback. Couldn't get away. He dropped at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he had kind of a, going back to that, he had kind of an emotional thing because, and maybe it was in the regional, that, he drew one of the top heavyweights around, Billy Haywig, and beat him. Oh, no, he beat Greer. He beat the Greer kid.
Beat Bo Greer. He
Yeah.
beat Bo Greer in the sectional semifinals, I believe.
Maybe that's what it was. And everybody thought Greer was going to win the thing, I think.
And it wasn't close. Waterbury, Chris, again, he's a heck of a wrestler. He's a very determined kid. He's the fullback here. Hennard is the tailback. Hennard will get it. Found a hole, trying to keep his balance to the 40. Dropped the football. It'll go out of bounds. Look out. Hennard spun around, lost the ball. It bounced out of bounds just inside the 40. Fortunate hop for Castle one time.
Yes.
And it's 3rd down and 4. If he doesn't drop the football, though, it's probably going to be a first down.
And I tell you what, that was one of those, there was nobody out there. Whoever picked that baby up could have went either direction for a touchdown.
Sure.
But it went on out of bounds.
That play was kind of pushed farther outside than anybody, I think, had expected. Slot to the left side is Finn. Up the middle goes Waterbury. Look at this. That's just determination for a first down. That's a 5-yard gain for the fullback, and he just plowed right over a couple of people there. He will find time, Chris Waterbury. He will find time on this team. You can bet on that. I'm not sure how many starts he'll get, if any. He will find time.
Castle's decided to come out and run smash mouth football.
Yes, they have. They've decided to go back to this for a little while here. Here comes Waterbury again. He breaks free one time across the middle. He's got 6, maybe 7 on the carry and had his leg cut out from under him and gets up slowly for a second, but he'll run back to the huddle, say, I'm fine. There are 2 reasons for that. First of all, it's to assure yourself you're okay. And second of all, is to assure your coach you're okay so you don't come out of the game.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
If you lent back too much, your coach will say, hey, you know what, you can come out for a while. And when you got 70 guys over here waiting to get in the game, you don't really want to come out that often. Here comes Roop. That'll be a first down. The quarterback keep, as Castle has just decided at this point that Apollo isn't big enough to stop them, and they'll just decide to smash them.
Right.
And if nothing else, this wears down the Eagles quite a bit. You could only take, and I think we saw the 94 team do this to a lot of clubs for Castle. You can only take so much of this. Once you get shoved down 10 or 12 times, it's hard to get back up again.
Hey, the only way to keep their offense, Apollo's offense, off the field is to keep the ball with a sustained long drive.
Roop running it up the middle. He tripped over his own man that time at the line of scrimmage, and I think he fell over Heath Libbert. Got only about a yard. 2nd down and 9. Well, they officially gave him 2. That's the shortest 2-yard gain ever. Roop calling the play in the huddle. 14 on the play clock. Now down to 10. Castle comes to the line. Eye in the backfield. Roop calling signals. 3 on the play clock as the handoff will go to the right side. I think that was Heron, Dorian Heron. And he picks up perhaps 5 on the carry. About 3rd down and 4. Heron, another one of those track athletes. He was a hurdler, if I remember correctly.
He looked quick.
Roop calling signals at the line. I in the backfield. Brandon will hand it to the fullback, Waterbury again. They finally were able to stop Chris shy of the first down marker.
With about 7 people.
Yeah, it took about 7 of them. Or wait a minute, was it Waterbury? It may have been Fox. That was not Waterbury that time.
Fox,
I think that was
right.
Fox, yeah. And 4th down and 3 now. Well, 4th down and actually at 4 on the board. That's not 4. 4th and a long 2, a short 3. Castle will go. And the Castle fans begin to come to their feet. Heron is the tailback. Roop will give. No, Roop will keep. Roop will run it up inside, and he's very close.
He got it.
Yeah, he got it. Yeah, he got it by a yard. And that's where having a quarterback who's almost 200 pounds comes in handy.
Right.
And Roop just flat took it on himself that time to get the first down, got it by a yard. 1st and 10, Castle inside the 15.
Here's Elkins in the game.
Yeah, Elkins is back in. He's been in a couple of times in this drive, but Castle's yet to put the ball in the air on this drive. I in the backfield behind Roop. The give is to the tailback, Dorian Heron, and he's not going to get very much of anything on this one. As Apollo is beginning to catch on, the Castle wants to run the football. They've got everybody in the box.
I would say you're probably going to see a little pass play here real soon.
Yeah, it'd be a good time, perhaps. I'd look for a fade route to Elkins.
They've got one-on-one coverage out here with him.
And he's on the wide side of the football field. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little fade route to the corner of the end zone out of play action. Or a crossing route. We'll see. Heron again is the tailback. Fake the end around, Roop. There is the fade pattern to Elkins. Touchdown. Thank you. And a flag. It's coming back, guys. It's coming back. A flag on the play, holding on Castle. Wow, I didn't see that at all.
I didn't see it. Cornerback fell down, but he was beat. The Elkins did a little, kind of a S pattern in and out.
Is it a hold or was it a pass interference call? Couldn't have possibly been a pass. It must have been a hold in the backfield. Yep, that's what it is. Elkins ran in and then just ran it right back out to the corner of the end zone. That's exactly what I was looking for there, and it worked to perfection. Unfortunately, Castle called for a hold, and now it's 2nd down and 25. I in the backfield. Confusion as Roop is hit by the tailback, Heron, and almost knocked down. What happened there? Roop will lose 4. 3rd down and a mile and a half. Boy, a promising drive here is stalled in a hurry thanks to the official's flag. And I'm not sure what happened on that play, but Heron ran into Roop and knocked Roop back into the tacklers.
Castle used to run a play where they fake a reverse and the fullback comes out and goes in a flat. That time the counterback ran into the quarterback. I don't know if that was the play. That's another one of their big plays they used to run a few years ago.
I don't know that John Lighty takes a whole lot of things out of the playbook. He just kind of fishes them out when he needs them. Here's the pass play, looking for Elkins in the end zone, incomplete.
That had to be interference.
Oh my goodness, no flag, and the Castle fans are incensed. Elkins was tackled from behind on the play. Williams just flat tackled him. How that's not a flag, I don't have a clue.
And John Lottie doesn't really throw a lot of fits, but he's upset.
Well, Lottie isn't the one that's thrown the biggest fit here. That was Mark Williamson who ran down the field along with Keith Ryder, and they are just screaming at the official right now. Boy, that certainly looked like a pass interference situation, and I think Castle, facing 4th down and very long, is going to go ahead and go for it. This is a pass situation. They'll send 2 out. Elkins and Finn are the receivers. Roop will step up, and Roop's just going to try and run the football. This has no chance of working. I don't know what was going on there. Roop will run it down to about the 20-yard line. I just saw something I didn't know what was going on with Andrew Burke, because Burke has to wear 2 different numbers.
Right.
He's got an 83 jersey that tears away and lets him come back out with a 72. He ran to the sidelines, threw down the 83 jersey, and is back on the field as number 72. So the ball at the 21-yard line of Apollo as the Eagles will take over. The pass tipped and a big hit late on the backfield. That'll be a loss of about 6 yards. The pass was tipped. Williams had to wait for it. Brian Daywalt was the one who laid on the hit.
Anyway, you got Baker, who's Jordan Baker, number 55. He also has one of those tearaways he puts on. He's number 82. And of course, the big boy has the same thing. He's 72 and 83.
72, 83?
Right.
The handoff. No, tried to fake it, and now he's in trouble. The quarterback will go down. Back to the 6, Brandon Adams. Boy, he had no chance. That time he just had no chance. Castle is playing a more inspired football game here in the second half. Well, all the way back, they'll spot it at the 9. It looked like he was knocked back further than that.
Well, the person that caused that was Andy Burke.
Yeah, Burke
it was like he come flying in there, and the quarterback decided to run, and then the rest of the pursuit was there.
Roop will come into the game as a safety. Castle will bring Bruce Sparks to the sideline. So Castle, an extra safety in the game on an obvious passing down, 3rd and 23. Adams, the snap, will let it fly long. Finn is there and could have picked it off, and I'm not sure if he dropped it on purpose or just had it bounce out of his hands.
Yeah, he made a good effort at it.
Either way, though, I would, if I was Castle, I'd rather have a chance of blocking this punt.
Exactly.
They've already blocked one, and I can't believe they wouldn't come after this one. In fact, I thought maybe they'd stick all 11 up there, but Elkins will come back at about the Apollo 40. The snap here is all important for Apollo as Clatterbuck, the punter, is 5 yards deep in his own end zone. A bad snap here could be disaster. The punt, almost. Elkins will field the punt and return it right to the 40. About a yard return. A nice job on the play by William Carter. Does William Carter get to go to the sidelines? The kid's playing special teams, offense and defense. Is he out there all the time?
He is out there quite a bit.
Yeah, he does. I don't know that he ever sees the sidelines. He can wave over there sometimes. I don't think he goes there.
I'm surprised that they haven't started having some effects, leg cramps and those type of things, because number 1, number 2, and number 27 have been out there almost nonstop.
And that's Williams, Adams, and Carter.
Right.
High in the backfield behind Roop. Castle at the Apollo 40. The handoff to Waterbury right up the middle.
Fox,
Waterbury. No, it's Fox. You're right. It's Fox right up the middle. 41, not 42. It's Fox, and that was a tough run. A gain of close to 9, although there was no hole there at all. That was just a rather large young man running right through people. And again, Fox isn't listed as being that big. He's only listed at 5'11", 190, but
he's a solid 190 then.
yes, he is. Heron is now the tailback. Finn is the slot to the near side. Fox has the carry. Fox got away for a moment as the first down to the 26. Maybe to the 25. Yeah, near the 25-yard line. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and a very quickly played third quarter. And believe me, those of us who have been out here since 11 this morning appreciate it. And a timeout. The officials have taken a timeout. Let's see why. I believe we have some chin strap problems with Aaron Teasley of Apollo. The rover back will head to the sidelines. How many cheerleaders does Castle have out here? I just noticed they have an army of cheerleaders.
Where's Mr. Tubbs? Doesn't he keep track of that stuff?
Tubbs, yeah, if I'd ask Ron, he'd already know, but I may have to count for myself this time. Eye in the backfield behind Roop. Heron dots the eye of the tailback. Roop back to throw. Roop looking corner for Elkins. All kinds of contact. That ball, however, was thrown 3 or 4 yards out of bounds. You know, I'm kind of surprised they don't run Finn on a crossing pattern because you have no corner help on the right side of the field, the wide side.
About 30, 31
Really?
cheerleaders.
That's a lot of cheerleaders.
Right. They got a lot of. We always talk about their band's big, their football team's big, and cheerleading squad's big.
You get a lot of participation at this school. A lot of people to participate. Here goes Heron. Oh, dancing forward near the first down. Boy, he pulled off a couple moves in there that would have made Michael Jackson proud. That was nice.
Walter Payton too.
Walter Payton, Barry Sanders. But I used the dance analogy, so I was going for somebody that could dance. I didn't want to go with Vanilla Ice.
Right.
I wanted to go with somebody that, you know, people like, kind of.
Well, Castle's right down here in scoring territory.
Yeah, inside the red zone again to the Apollo 15-yard line. The eye in the backfield. Roop will keep it. Trying to run it around the left side. He may go 10-5. Yeah, there's the touchdown. Well, that was simply a situation where everybody overreacted to the tailback going right, and Roop was all alone as he sprinted out to his left, and that's a touchdown. 19-13 Castle. Let's see if the Castle Knights. No, well, I thought maybe they'd go for 2, but when
they
you're
are.
already
they're not.
No, when you're up 6 already, put the 7th one on the board, I suppose.
Well, there's a card. There's a suggest what you do in situations like this.
Well, and if you're up, tell you what, if you're tied, you put this one on the board. Now, if Apollo would hit that last PAT down here, you'd go for 2, but in this situation, you don't. Ship.
He made it.
We'll drill it. 20-13 as Ship is good on his second of 3 attempts. And with 58 seconds left in the third period, Castle has jumped back out on top 20-13. Back in 30 seconds on WBNL. Touchdown run from Brandon Root. How many yards do we give Brandon on that one?
It's 14.
Root, the 14-yard touchdown run. There you go. Always good to know how many yards. So the Knights back with a 7-point lead. That's the biggest lead they've had. Kick. A little shorter this time from Ship down at the 8-yard line.
Oh, somebody just got
Bodies
killed.
Falling all over the place out there. And yeah, somebody for Apollo absolutely got leveled. And I mean laid out.
They went back
in
the air a few yards.
I would love to see the tape on that because somebody in a white jersey went the other way in a big way.
Prone. Sorry about that. Prone position. You know, Apollo's only had the ball for about 4 plays here in the second half, and Castle's just come out with smash mouth control type football.
Apollo with it back, 51.1 on the clock here in the third period. The quarterback Adams will keep it. He's got some room up the middle, first down. Brandon Adams still running well and still moving the feet very quickly. I like to watch his feet because they move up and down in a hurry. He has the short steps,
right.
I think is what makes him a good runner in traffic. He's able to pick his holes.
But you know, with all the moves he's made, he has 0 yards. He's picked up 11, but he loses 11.
Yeah, and that's
That's the life of a quarterback.
Yep. The snap, shotgun. Oh, that looked like a hold there. No flag. Deep down the field. Elkins will pick this one off. Yep. That's just a bad throw. Intended for Jock Williams, and Elkins playing center field. Had that one thrown right between the numbers. That's not a good pass. It was a very large hold in the backfield also on that play, and that did not draw a flag. Somebody had one of the Knights' jerseys and held on to it the whole way, but no flag, and Castle not too concerned about it now since they have the football.
That was the first bad pass by the quarterback for Apollo, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was the first really bad one. Here comes Roop on the quarterback keep. And this will run out the third quarter as Brandon actually picked up about 3 yards on the play. And the clock will wind down toward the end of the third quarter. That'll do it. Well, we've been waiting all day to have a good football game, and we finally got one here in our third try. Apollo and Castle playing a good one. It's the Knights over the Eagles, 20-13 with 12 minutes to play. Back after this on WBNL.